Well, the National Civil Rights Museum has been awfully busy this week. For those of you who came to Black Angels, I don't know the name. For those of you who came to Black Angels over Tuskegee and the Orpheum this week, and we wrap up our week with an iconic guy that many of you have heard about, have seen on TV. Now he's the star of Dancing with the Stars, and y'all better vote for him. You gotta vote for him, because he's on the show. For those of you who don't know Tavis, I'm gonna read a little bit, then I'm gonna talk about what I know about him. Tavis is the host of late night television show Tavis Smiley on PBS, as well as the Tavis Smiley Show from Public Radio International. He has authored and co-authored 16 books. 16 books. And at one point they said we couldn't write and read, huh? I think they were quite wrong about that. I have read several of them, and this, I know, is going to be his most pensive, thoughtful, emotional, transformative book that he has ever written. One thing that I can tell you about Tavis, he is serious about this museum, and he is serious about Dr. King. When Tavis comes to Memphis, even if he doesn't come in to talk to staff, he will often kneel down and pray and recite. Because Dr. King meant so much to his life, and continues to mean so much to his life. For those of you who never met him, you gotta know he's a down-to-earth guy. He's just like your brother. He is the person you always want to talk to. My first introduction to Tavis was on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, where Tavis gave some of the most thoughtful commentary that I have ever heard. Tavis is a brilliant young man, and he's been brilliant for a long, long time. And I know in some ways and among some audiences, he's been a little controversial. But what I will say to you about Tavis is, Tavis always speaks truth to power. And whether you agree with it or not, or whether you like it or not, he does indeed speak truth to power. And that's what I love about him. He is a longtime friend. He is, for me personally, much like a brother. I love him like one. I have met his mother, who he has brought to the museum. I understand that he did pledge Kappa at the Alpha chapter in Indiana. So for those of you who happen to be Kappas in the room, I want you to know that about him as well. I know I could go on about Tavis because I do love Tavis and have loved him since I first heard him and didn't know him. So I want to introduce you, introduce to some, and certainly present to others, a man who is an icon in his own time, and he's not that old, you know, because icons are usually old. But he's already an icon, and it is a privilege and an honor to welcome him back to the National Civil Rights Museum, my friend, Mr. Tavis Smiley.
My mama called and said, I saw you on TV on C-SPAN, you had lipstick all over. Anyway, thank you for coming out. Let me start by thanking Beverly for such a wonderful introduction. That may very well be the second best introduction I've ever received. Second best ever. I want to say that because I was at Atlanta the other day, and the person to introduce me didn't show up, and I did it myself. So that was awfully nice, and I want to thank you. Let me just say that it is always a delight, always an honor to come back to this great city of Memphis. Memphis is Beverly's word iconic. This is an iconic town in the history of this great nation for all sorts of reasons. And I am always humbled when I get a chance to come to Memphis to do anything, but especially humbled when I get a chance to come to this National Civil Rights Museum, because for me, as Bev intimated a moment ago, this for me is, it's not just a museum. It's not just a national monument. It is for me sacred space. I mean that literally. This for me is sacred space. Bev and I know each other long enough for her to know that she intimated whenever I come to town. Sometimes I'm here for just a day. Sometimes I sneak in town to see my sister who lives here. One of my sisters lives here. I'll sneak in town if I'm nearby to see her and sneak right back out. But I've never, ever come to this town without walking out to that balcony. And sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, when the schedule allows. But I never come to this town without coming to that sacred space and paying homage to the person I regard as the greatest democratic, small d, the greatest democratic public intellectual in the history of this nation. America's greatest democratic, small d, public intellectual. Put another way, I just think Dr. King is the greatest American we've ever produced. Now that starts a ballroom brawl when you say that, because I can debate you on FDR, I can debate you on Abraham Lincoln, I can debate you on any number of great Americans, but for my mind, Dr. King is the greatest American this country has ever produced. And so when I come to this city, I always come to this sacred space to pay my respects to the life and legacy of this great American, Dr. Martin King Jr. Let me just say, make a commitment in your life to be as Kenyan as you can be. I'm not asking to put your life on the line. I ain't saying take a bullet to the head. I'm not saying take a vow of poverty. What I am asking you to do is to be as Kenyan as you can be. That's how we honor his legacy. To be as Kenyan as you can be. And I know that every one of us has the capacity to seek the truth and to speak the truth and to stand on the truth and to state the truth. America needs truth tellers. America needs truth tellers. And we are the truth tellers we've been looking for. Thank you very much for coming out tonight.
Before you all start moving, just for another moment, can you sit for a moment? Sit just for a moment. Thank you very much. You all have been great, a great audience. One thing that I do want to do, and I always want to acknowledge this, because you all have been such great supporters of the National Civil Rights Museum, and I certainly want you to continue to support us. I believe we have a board member or two in the house that I want to be able to recognize any board members, current board members, as well as any past board members. So please stand if you're a board member. I see Rose. Rose from FedEx. Been a tremendous supporter of the museum. And of course, I can't do anything by myself, and I always say this. All the members of my staff who are here tonight, please stand, staff, step forward, staff on the back wall back there. Make sure you know who really runs things around the National Civil Rights Museum. And then I would really be remiss if I did not acknowledge your new director or president. Your new president of the National Civil Rights Museum is here tonight. She officially comes on board. I'm keeping her seat warm for her though. But she officially comes on board November 1. So you get a sneak introduction of Ms. Terri Freeman out of Washington, D.C. and her family. Stand, Terri, so they all can welcome you. So they will officially, or she will anyway, by November 1. So I thank you. And of course, Tavis knows that he always speaks truth to power, and I have had that validated by some friends of mine who know the reality of kind of what's going on around this country. So I love Tavis, I always will, and we will always have a close personal relationship. It doesn't matter where we are, and he knows that.
So Beverly, I just saw she snuck in the back because I have to finish signing these books and then go to dance rehearsal.
Yes.
So Beverly was teasing me earlier about being on Dancing with the Stars. For those of you who are fans of the show, you know that we survived the first week last week. We did the foxtrot the first week. And And my feet are hurting tonight because this coming Monday we're doing the cha-cha-cha. This coming Monday. It's on the balls of my feet. I can't tell you the song we're dancing to, but I will give you a hint, since I love it. It's just a hint. Can't tell you the song, but here's the hint. The elements. Can't tell you the song, it's just little hints. But as I've been traveling on book tour, I have to squeeze in dance rehearsal every day. Somewhere in the day I gotta find 3-4 hours every day, even as I travel to do rehearsal. So I've been traveling all day today, been here, got here this morning, been running all day doing media, and I'm gonna sit here for the next half hour or so and sign every book that you have. And after I sign these books, I'm gonna go to my hotel that I haven't even checked into today. I've been here since 5 o'clock this morning and been in the hotel and run around town. Go to the hotel, check in right quick, change into my dancing shoes, get out of these clothes, and go rehearse for a few hours tonight at the end of this day. But I can't rehearse without my dance partner. He just walked in the room. You dancing fans, come on down, Shauna. So I'll let Shauna say hello to you. You're gonna love this lovely Australian accent that she has. So Shauna has been a professional for years and been on the international stage and competed internationally, won internationally. So when we got chosen to be on the show, you don't find out until 3 weeks before your first dance who your partner was going to be. So I didn't know who I was going to get on day one. And when I saw her walk in and saw with Shauna, I couldn't have been happier because I've seen the people she's danced with in the past, and she's really good at what she does. And she's not just a wonderful dancer, but she's a good teacher. You can be proficient at something and don't know the first thing how to teach nobody. And I think if you can teach me how to dance, you're really good. Really, really good. So last week, I was so proud of myself doing that box trot, I can't tell you. But Shauna had to help me on that frame for the longest time. Keep my arms up and all that. So anyway, I'm going to let Shauna say hello and we're going to sign you with. So this is your first time in Memphis, you been before?
Yes, my first time.
So welcome, Shauna, to Memphis.
Guys, it's amazing to be here. I wish I had more time. I literally fly out at 7 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully I get a chance to come back and explore this amazing city. It was wonderful listening to Tavis and learning some of the history. Again, I really haven't known that much about it. It's been so amazing. But
I was blocking her view.
But really what I want to say to you guys is, thank you so much for supporting this amazing man, and please let that support continue into Dancing with the Stars. Obviously the name of the game is votes, and we certainly do need them, but he is so wonderful, and you guys get to see this side of him, but I'm telling you, there are so many sides to Tavis Smiley that I really want you guys to get to know. You saw the cool, swagged out foxtrot last week. I'm telling you, this week is a whole nother ballgame. We are taking it back. And you are absolutely going to love it. You're going to love the song. So please tune in. Please vote. Please give him your support. And Team Smiles and Sass, baby.
I would do a little something, y'all. My feet are hurting so bad. and I gotta say before rehearsal tonight. Yeah, you wait, yeah. But Monday, it's gonna be on and popping on Monday. So anyway, that's Shauna, and thanks for those who are watching. Everywhere I go, I tell you, I didn't realize this show had such rabid fans. I can't walk through an airport, I can't go to the bathroom, I can't go to the restaurant. They have all kind of, it's such a rabid fan. And Shauna's been there for 4 or 5 seasons, so she's used to this, but traveling with her is kind of funny because she has fans all over the place. The 2 little black kids on the airplane that they come to Memphis, and they saw Shauna, they've been running down the aisle. They were on the plane, running down the aisle with their cameras, trying to get a picture of her. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm learning some stuff I didn't know that I was capable of. So anyway, tune in Monday and see how I do on this cha-cha-cha. Anyway, thank you, Memphis. I love you. We'll sign you there.
Hi, I'm Michael Tabor. We're at the Civil Rights Museum. I'm here tonight because Mr. Tavis Smiley came out and spoke about his new book, The Death of a King. This book is really based on the last years of Martin Luther King's life, when he was betrayed by a lot of people, let down, a lot of people turned their back on him. He died for a lot of people that didn't care for him. And it's sad. This is a good book. You can get a copy. I got this copy at Lloydwood's bookstore over on Poplar. Mr. Tavis Smiley is behind me. I'm going to try to get a picture with him and get him to say a few words. I met with him earlier. But this is a good book. It really is. I like for everybody that's concerned about America, they really want to know another side about Martin Luther King's life, go get this book. You know the dream speech? Tavis Smiley went over a lot of things tonight. And I learned some things. I've done a lot of programs on Martin Luther King, the civil rights struggle, but I learned some things too. You're watching Word Up.
All right, there you go. Show your man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you came.
Always go somewhere. They do whatever. I just came to the shop here.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. That's
Sticky on the inside. It's a little sticky. You still got it? Is it sticky?
I'm Michael Terry, you watch WordUpProductions on Street Police Television. I'm standing next to Mr. Tavis Smiley. I came out tonight, I saw him this morning, and I picked up a book, his brand new book called The Death of a King. Here's the front copy of it. I got it at Lloydwood's bookstore. This book, I'm glad you put it out. Why did you go in this direction other than the previous books on Martin?
Because this book is about the last year of his life that has not been written, where people turn against him for speaking out against the war in Vietnam. So I think if you really want to know who Dr. King is, you have to know the journey that he walked for the last 9 years and how he navigated speaking out against the war, and everybody turned against him, but still get up every day and still tell his truth, which he did.
You can get this book here at the Civil Rights Museum at Lloydwood. Where else can you get this book?
It's everywhere. Everywhere books are sold, you can get it.
How long did it take you to put this book out?
We researched it. I mean, I've been researching since I was 12. I told the story tonight. I've been loving Dr. King since I was a kid. I'm kind of researching since I was a kid, and the actual writing, about a year of actually pulling the text together and making it happen.
I've done quite a few programs in Memphis since 1989 on Martin Luther King, and I've learned a lot. I haven't read the book yet, but the topics, the issues that you brought up, I even learned some things. I can't wait to read the book. I'm going to make sure that I run this program continuously all through the year. As you know, WordUpProductions did a crime, work with the youth and the adult prevention. Tavis Smiley, I've been watching him for years. He's a very outspoken person. I don't see how he do it. Since I've been seeing the day he's been running, he hadn't tired out. When are you going to leave here?
Birmingham next, and then back to LA, and then Seattle, and Washington, and Baltimore, and Texas, and Miami. Still got a few more cities to go.
Okay, I'm going to close by saying I gave you the documentary. I put out one this year called Free the White Man, We Are the Answer. It's a tribute to Martin Luther King, 25 years ago. Mr. Tavis Smiley. I hope you look at it and get some response on it. My documentary is trying to get black people to meet the dream and not make it a nightmare. And I think this book right here, King will be proud of it, because there's some things in this book that need to be said. And the truth will set you free. And like he said, the more of the truth that you speak about, the closer you are to the cross.
But you got to speak it anyway. You got to speak it. And thank you for speaking. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and you're watching WordUpProductions.